because even God couldn't trust the English in the dark.
All right, first of all, you need to understand what kind of speech this is. This is not an unscripted speech. This is not a political speech either. But this is a scripted speech. Now, he does not have a full-on script in front of him. In the worst case scenarios, you will even see like a dais and there's a script and the person is just straight up reading. He does not have a script that he's reading out of, but he does have a microscript with the points written which he wants to cover, which is fine. He's not reading at any point. He's kind of just reminding. There is a bypass of that as well. The technique of memory palace. I've discussed this a long time ago, but use it till this day. I did use it in my TEDx talk as well. Can give you a perfect structure and a sequence in which you do not need a piece of paper to memorize what you're going to say next. It's going to be all in your head. It's like cheating, but nobody can prove it. That video is still available. I'll link it down in the description box as well. You can check it out. But that requires some time and effort, and he just went out with a piece of paper, which is fine as well if everyone else is doing that. But you need to understand this one thing about scripted speeches is that this is not the first time he's saying that. Matter of fact, I've gone through multiple speeches of Sashi Tharoor. He has said the exact same line in a lot of speeches. So it is a thing that he does, or a line that he says. And also, I would imagine that he has rehearsed a bunch of time before he spoke over here. To those people who have never done public speaking might not know this, but we rehearse multiple times. For my TEDx speech, I think at least 40 to 50 times I have rehearsed it from 0 to 100. Now, I cannot be 100% sure because I know Sashi Tharoor is a fantastic speaker. But if I had to guess, I would say that he has rehearsed it. Keeping that in mind, it is still difficult to portray a thought in front of an audience which is so educated. Where is this talk? It is somewhere in Britain, I guess. Where is this exact place? Some university. Oxford. It's in Oxford University. So a very well literate crowd who knows what he's talking about. He cannot just blab anything out there, and he shows the confidence that will make you believe he knows what he is saying. So this is an example of a speech, a scripted speech. So what we are going to focus a lot on is the eye contact over here, and there's a lot that you can learn from. So let's get into it.
The first speaker, Mr. Lee, suggested these things couldn't be quantified.
See, there's another thing that you can observe over here is the hand gesture. He's showing it over here. We discussed in the Andrew Tate one. But more importantly, what you can see over here, observe over here, is the eye contact. Now, there are two kinds of eye contact that we cover in the course of art of speaking. Number one, the lighthouse effect, and number two, the spotlight effect. Lighthouse effect is when you sweep through your crowd, making sure that every end, every corner understands your presence, not only your presence, but also your attention towards them. So you are not only going to focus at one part of the audience, the way that most of the Indian college teachers do, which is focus on one end and the other end is falling asleep meanwhile. So he's going to sweep all across the crowd. It is different from a spotlight effect because we have an indirect eye contact in lighthouse effect. Indirect means that I'm looking into your eyes, but you are not looking into my eyes. So when I'm looking into audience's eyes, I cannot like pinpoint and look into everyone, right? But they are looking straight at me. So I'm just kind of brushing through. You know what is a strong eye contact, right? You make an eye contact. Right now I'm making an eye contact with you for the video version people. I'm looking straight at you. But this is not a direct eye contact. That is an indirect eye contact. I just sweep by, but I did look in your direction as well, and that makes you feel my attention towards you. So you can see that from his head movement.
But let me quantify World War I for you. Again, I'm sorry, from an Indian perspective, others...
So right now he's looking at his right, okay? See how he moves to the left. He has to. He will. I can bet.
54,000 Indians actually lost their lives.
Look, he moved, right? Now he's kind of right now looking towards the center, but he will move towards his left as well. I can guarantee that.
65,000 were wounded.
Unless there's nobody over there, but there is, because I just saw him talking to them.
Indian taxpayers had to cough up 100.
Check it out. That's what he did over there. He's paying attention towards everyone, or at least making them feel his attention. Why should I listen to you if you're not talking to me? So to get attention, you have to give attention. And it's a difficult job a speaker has to do, to give attention to all 50 of them, or bigger crowds. Like I've talked to once a crowd of 300 people, and you still have to make sure that no corner of that auditorium feels that they are left out. These things are not happening in your head consciously. Like you know why I'm falling asleep. These things are deep in your genetics. You are naturally going to fall asleep if the teacher is not looking at you. If I'm talking continuously like this, how would you feel? Imagine I'm your friend sitting next to you, and this is the way I choose to talk to you. How are you going to feel? You are soon going to lose your connection with what I'm saying. I've discussed this in the last podcast as well. A lot of speaking is the eye contact, is the hand gesture, it is the body posture, it is the way that we speak. Very less is what we say or the words that we use. So if I want your attention, I'm going to give you eye contact. Now what eye contact does is give the expression in a very silent manner. So that is a huge chunk of information. And that is why a person who is listening to another person who is not having an eye contact finds it extremely difficult to understand what that person was saying, because I'm getting half the information. So what happens when I get half the information? I do not understand half the stuff. And what happens then? I soon cannot relate to you, and I'll think about birds outside or something. So I have completely lost what you were saying. 5 minutes down the line, it's even worse, that I have no clue now what's going on. And that's how every teacher in colleges lose the attention of their kids, because they make these mistakes in the first 5 minutes of them speaking. And that is why kids sleep in colleges and schools. So a good speaker will never let that happen. A good speaker worships attention and will do anything to grab that. If I see a person yawning, I take it personally. I'm going to make some joke or something that brings the attention of everybody. You should never get angry as a speaker. As a speaker, it is your responsibility to get attention and keep attention. That's your job. That's literally all that you're doing. So you should have firm eye contact with everyone in the audience. Now, firm does not mean direct. Direct meaning I'm looking into your eyes and you are looking into my eyes. I'm going to have an indirect eye contact with me not looking into your eyes, but I'm just brushing through. But you, obviously, since I'm speaking, will be looking exactly at me. So that's an indirect eye contact. And that does enough to make your audience understand that you're paying attention towards them. That's the lighthouse effect. The spotlight effect is you looking into their eyes, they looking into your eyes. And you do not have to worry about the second one, because they're already looking into your eyes, because you're the speaker, you're in the focus of the attention. So all you have to do is make a strong eye contact. That's it. Now you cannot do it continuously with everyone, because you have only 2 eyes and there are like 500 eyes in the room. So every now and then, uniformly, you pick one, you say a sentence while looking at that person, and then you move forward, then you make a strong eye contact with someone else. Then you move forward, make a strong eye contact with someone else. And like that, if it is uniformly distributed all across the hall, now nobody feels that you're not talking to anybody over here, or you are ignoring a particular side. Everybody understands that you cannot make strong eye contact and talk directly to everyone over there. So this subconsciously feeds that you're paying attention towards everyone, and everyone gets the information well. So the second one is called a spotlight effect. And it's just like lighthouse moves all around. Obviously, you cannot rotate all around, but around 150 degree or so is good if it is like a circular gallery. It depends on the class. It's much more detailed than that. There's a whole bunch of lessons on eye contact, especially when the crowd starts to increase or the crowd drops like below 10 or so, how to make proper eye contacts. More is discussed in art of speaking course. I'll leave the link down in the description box. But let's see what else we can learn from Dr. Sashi Tharoor over here.